Welcome to Keeping It Realty. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Keeping It Realty. I'm your host, Martha Smith.
And I'm your co-host, Natalia Pierantoni.
And today we're talking about a question that we get asked all the time.
How do you become a real estate agent?
This is exactly what we're covering in today's episode.
All right, let's get right into it. Step 1, how do you get licensed?
Okay, so step 1, you got to meet the basic requirements. Be 18 years of age, have a high school diploma or equivalent, and have a valid U.S. Social Security card.
Okay. Got it. Step 2, complete a 63-hour FREC-approved pre-licensing course and pass the final exam.
Step 3, pass the state exam.
Step 4, submit application with the DBPR, which is the Department of Business Professional Regulations, pay the required application fee, and get electronic fingerprints for background check.
Good stuff. Step 5, once you pass your state exam, then you have to determine where you want to hang your license. What brokerage are you going to go to?
Right. So let's talk about cost. That's a big one.
So the application fee with the DBPR, the Department of Business Professionals, is $83.75. Your pre-licensing course can vary depending on which one you get. You can do like classroom or online course. You can get different formats. So we're going to give it a range anywhere from $399 to $799 for the school. Your fingerprints and background check can range anywhere from $50 to $80. And then your state exam will run you about $37 per attempt. So if you fail it, you got to take it again. You pay $37. So that's roughly anywhere from $570 to about $1,000 just out the gate to get licensed.
So that's not even including your headshots, business cards, all the marketing, right? Open house ads, like for sale signs, MLS fees, being part of the NAR, which is like the National Association of Realtors.
Right. So let's back up. Let's talk about the association that we're a part of, right? So the MLS, we need that to be able to practice real estate. What is the MLS? Can you explain it for our listeners?
So the MLS is the Multiple Listing Services, which is a database used for realtors to share information about their properties. And also you send this to your clients to get all the properties that's on the market every time that
we get market reports off the MLS. Like it does everything for us.
Yeah.
How much does the membership cost and how often do you renew it?
Okay, so the MLS charges us a one-time fee for being a new customer, which is like about $150 and $642 for the membership fee every year.
Yearly membership fee.
Yeah,
okay,
every year.
So that's a one-time $150 for new members, and then $641 or $642 every year.
Every year. That's a fee that you would have to invest.
Aside from the MLS, we're also a member of the NAR, the National Association of Realtors. And in 2024, the annual membership due was $156 per member plus a $45 special assessment. So that's a total of $201 for the National Association of Realtors last year.
Wow.
We're also a part of the local association, which is the Greater Tampa Realtors. They've now combined forces with the Pinellas Realtor Organization and Central Pasco, and they charge about $410 a year.
So to be clear, this is all in the state of Florida.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Of course. So we also have a special key called the Super Key.
Ooh, the Supra. You need it.
So they charge us $15 a monthly fee, and then for the activation is $50.
Right. And we pay, so for the Supra, we pay the $15 a month and the $50 activation fee.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about brokerages.
Okay.
What brokerage did you start off at?
So I started with Julie's Realty, LLC. Shout out for Julie. So that's based in Miami. And the first day that I met her, I was like, oh my gosh. She pulled up at the house where we were having a deal, and she pulls up in a blue, like, Rolls Royce. Beautiful.
Wow. You were impressed.
Red bottoms. She was like a boss, like a big boss. So I was like, I want to get that right there. So I did. I got my license. I ended up literally just signing with her, and I've learned a lot of things from her. So I appreciate that. And I am currently with EXP now that I'm in the Tampa market.
Okay. So in Miami, you worked with Julie and her brokerage. And then when you moved to Tampa, you've only been at EXP here in Tampa?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's been almost a year.
Okay. When I started, I interviewed with a bunch of brokerages, but I went with the big guy. I went with Keller Williams. They have a lot of training. And as a new agent, I wanted to make sure that I got trained and that I knew what I was doing. So I took advantage of all of Keller Williams training. And they have an actual office, they're brick and mortar. They're kind of available, for anything that I needed as a new agent. That's the route that I went. And then from there, I went to EXP, and I've been at EXP ever since.
So do you like EXP?
I do. I like EXP. Do you?
I do too.
We're going to save it for another episode, but we're going to give you guys all the deets on EXP. Trust us.
So when you join a brokerage, right, there's several things to think about. For example, what does the broker provide? Do they provide signs? Do they provide trainings, mentoring, support, supplies, even headshots, right? Some brokerages provide this for free.
Right. And as you heard earlier in the episode, there's a lot of costs up front for a realtor. So maybe when you join a brokerage, it's important that, they cover some of these costs for you because it could get really, really pricey. Mm-hmm. Another thing to think about is your accessibility to the broker. So some brokerages have a broker available to you 24/7. Other brokers are harder to get, in contact with. Mm-hmm. So is that important? You're on a deal, you need some guidance. How accessible is your broker?
Accessibility, which is huge.
Right.
So another thing is the CRM. Right?
Ooh, CRM is important.
Can we explain a little bit what the CRM is for our listeners?
Yeah, so a CRM is your customer relationship management system. So this is where we organize our business, where we have all our database and we're able to email our customers' properties. We're able to keep track of who's doing what. So some brokerages offer you a CRM for free, some don't. And CRMs could get really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the one that EXP gives us for free, which is KV Core, that one starts for a single user at $299 and goes up from there. So,
and also ask yourself, do you want to be part of a team versus a single agent?
Right. So there's different ways you can go. Do you want to work with a team under a brokerage? Where you have the support, you have the camaraderie, you have other agents that you could lean on? Or do you want to be a single agent, keep more of your commission, but kind of depend only on yourself? You don't have that team support.
Exactly. So I'm talking about splits. Being part of a team does come with a bigger split. So
absolutely. So let's talk about splits. If you're a single agent, you're going to have a split with your brokerage or a flat fee, whatever the agreement is. And then if you're on a team, you're going to have an additional split with your team. So that's something to consider. They help cover the upfront costs, but they're also going to be taking more of your commission.
Correct. Or a transaction fee.
Right.
After each deal.
Right. That's the whole part of picking a brokerage, is seeing what each brokerage has to offer, what it's going to cost you, what they're going to give you.
I always recommend becoming a realtor, just get on a team. It's beneficial at the beginning. Once you get the hang of it, of getting all these contracts done and asking all that right question. I mean, we don't know everything.
Absolutely. You're learning. I'm still learning every day.
Every day it's a different deal with everybody.
Right. And you know what? If you have no business, you're not making any money. So it's better to be on a team and they maybe feed you leads. You give them a higher split and you're keeping less of your commission, but at least you're working. Mm-hmm. When you're new, you really don't have a lot of business. And so I agree. I think that being on a team when you're newer is great. But then also there's agents that love being on a team and they've been doing it for many years too. It all depends on your style, what you prefer, how much responsibility you want, and what your, future plans are.
Correct.
Now, can we talk about running the actual business? Real estate school doesn't prepare you for your business at all. Like, honestly, I feel like it doesn't prepare you for what to expect.
Yeah, you just got to go out there.
You got to go out there, and
survival mode.
Right. And running a business, you got to think about things like taxes, like your expenses, like you're going to have to hire help eventually, like a transaction coordinator or like some sort of admin. It's an actual business. Even if you're on a team or if you're a single agent or whatever brokerage you go to, this is still a business that you're running that needs to be profitable, because if it's not, then how do you pay your bills? Mm-hmm. So you have to run it like that. You have to switch your mind. And if you're not used to having like a commission-based job, if you're used to going into a place 9 to 5 and getting a check every Friday or every other week, this is a totally different animal. Like, you have
Yes.
potential to make a lot of money, but then you also have to work your butt off and organize your business.
Okay,
you know?
don't scare all the new agents.
I know. Okay, let me stop.
It's a fun job.
It's a fun job. It's amazing.
We call each other all the time. We're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what's going on?
For
all
real.
these deals. But
like, I
it's
love
okay.
it. I love it so much. But,
It's a roller coaster. It's
you know,
a love
but
and
it is
hate
a roller
relationship.
coaster. You can work for months and not collect, a single paycheck, especially when you're in the beginning.
Oh yeah, so definitely. I would say it would take about like 3 to 9 months to actually have a rewarding.
So let me ask you, how long did it take you before you closed your first deal?
I would say like maybe 5 months. And that was because I was already like following somebody else that was also in the industry. So I had my clients already. I was prepping everybody that I knew in my circle, which is a great point. Touch 5 people, right? Your family, friends.
Yeah.
That you're doing your license. And by the time you get the license, you can actually be like, hey, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then just get those clients like that.
Yeah.
It's a faster, yeah. Oh, and work rentals.
You work rentals in the beginning?
At first, yeah. I mean, I still do.
Yeah.
Because it's important. Those people in 1 year, just prepare them. And then eventually they're going to buy with you.
Yeah.
We hope we didn't scare you.
We're always going to keep it real tea.
And if you're thinking about getting licensed, you can DM us with any questions at keepingitrealty@gmail.com.
Our email is in the description. See you next time on Keeping It Realty.
Thank you all for tuning into our podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at keepingitreal_T and share this episode with all your friends.
If you guys have any questions and topics that you guys would like for us for future episodes, let us know. Shoot us a message. We would love to hear from you guys.
See you next time on Keeping It Realty.